True greatness is never rushed or broadcasted. It is crafted in the quiet moments, away from applause and distractions. Today, we will explore how to build yourself steadily and powerfully without needing the world's validation, because the most profound growth happens when no one is watching. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful things in life happen quietly? Think about a seed planted deep in the soil. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't rush to grow overnight. Instead, it works silently, pushing roots downward, strengthening itself beneath the surface, preparing for the moment it can break through and stand tall. That is the power of silent growth. Too often, we fall into the trap of wanting to be loud, wanting the world to see our every move, our every progress. But real transformation doesn't happen in noise. It happens in silence, in the moments when no one else is watching. When you decide to build yourself quietly, you're embracing patience, discipline, and humility. You understand that progress is not always visible immediately. Sometimes it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, your mind is expanding. Your skills are sharpening. Your character is being molded. Growth is an invisible process, like the roots of a mighty tree that no one can see, but everyone feels the results of when the time comes. Imagine the power you unleash by working diligently in silence, by focusing your energy inward, away from distractions and comparisons. Why do so many people fail to grow quietly? Because they want quick validation. They want applause now, but applause without substance is empty. It's like building a house without a foundation. Loud achievements that come too fast often crumble just as quickly. True success is a marathon, not a sprint. It demands consistent effort, even when it's hard, even when it seems like you're not moving forward. When you commit to silent growth, you say no to instant gratification and yes to lasting transformation. Think about the giants of industry, the leaders of innovation, the masters of their craft. How many do you know who shouted their progress from the rooftops? Most of them worked in the shadows, mastering their skills, studying, failing, and trying again. Their growth was intentional and silent. Their loudest moment came only after years of unseen preparation. That moment of breakthrough is powerful, not because they made noise all along, but because they were ready when the world finally saw them. What about you? Are you willing to embrace the quiet? Are you ready to grow without constant recognition? When you focus on your own development, without comparing yourself to others, you build a strength that can't be shaken. You create a foundation so strong, it will carry you through any storm. But there's more to this journey than just being quiet and patient. Silent growth isn't passive, it's intentional, it's deliberate. It's an active choice to cultivate your potential daily, even when no one's applauding. And that brings us to the next critical way to build yourself quietly, the mastery of your inner kingdom, because before you can transform outwardly, you must first conquer your inner world. How do you take control of what's inside you? That's what we'll explore now. Have you ever stopped to consider that the greatest battles we face are not outside of us, but within? The mind, the emotions, the beliefs, they form a kingdom inside each of us. And just like any kingdom, if it's left unmanaged, it will fall into chaos. But when you learn to master your inner kingdom, you become the ruler of your own destiny. You control your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions, and in doing so, you build yourself quietly, powerfully, and without distraction. Many people spend their energy trying to change the world around them, but neglect the world inside. They chase external success, relationships, status, but without control over their inner kingdom, that external success is fleeting. The moment the storm hits, the pressure rises, or the unexpected challenge appears, they crumble because their foundation is weak. So what does it mean to master your inner kingdom? It means understanding that your thoughts are the seeds you plant in your mind. You must guard them carefully, nurture the positive and uproot the negative. What you allow to grow inside you determines what you will eventually become on the outside. Have you ever caught yourself trapped in doubt, fear, or anger? These are signs that the inner kingdom is under siege. But here is the secret. The kingdom responds to who is in charge. When you decide to lead your thoughts with clarity, discipline, and purpose, your emotions align with your vision. You begin to see problems as opportunities, challenges as stepping stones, and setbacks as lessons. This is quiet power. It's the power to choose your response instead of reacting unconsciously. It's the power to stay calm in the middle of chaos. It's the power that no one can steal from you. Mastery of your inner kingdom requires daily commitment. It's not a one-time event, but a lifelong practice. Every thought you entertain, every word you speak to yourself, either builds or breaks your kingdom. So ask yourself, what kind of ruler are you being today? Are you feeding your mind with strength, courage, and wisdom? Or are you allowing doubt and fear to reign? Remember, the condition of your inner kingdom will show up in your life, in your relationships, and in your achievement. When you finally grasp the art of quiet self-building through inner mastery, you create a fortress that protects you against the noise and chaos of the outside world. You become unshakable. Others may try to distract you, discourage you, or derail your progress, but your inner kingdom remains strong because you have trained it well. This is where true confidence is born, quiet, steady, and unyielding. But mastering your inner kingdom is just one step. There is a force within you that must be harnessed next, the invisible foundation of discipline and consistency that fuels this transformation. Without it, even the strongest inner kingdom can falter. So how do you build this foundation? That's the next secret we'll uncover, because silent growth demands silent consistency. Are you ready to learn how to anchor your progress in unbreakable discipline? Have you ever wondered what it really means to leave a legacy? Most people think legacy is about fame, recognition, or being remembered by the masses, but true legacy is something far deeper. It is the lasting impact of the work you do, the character you build, and the lives you influence, often without any spotlight at all. Building your legacy quietly means focusing on what matters most, behind the scenes, away from the noise and distractions of seeking approval. Think about the greatest legacies in history. How many of those stories began with loud announcements or constant self-promotion? Very few. Instead, those legacies grew from years of consistent, intentional effort, often unnoticed by the world, until the fruit was ready to be harvested. Legacy is not about instant fame. It's about planting seeds today, trusting that one day they will grow into a mighty forest. The question is, are you willing to build something that lasts, even if no one sees it right now? When you build your legacy beyond the spotlight, you shift your focus from temporary applause to eternal impact. You begin to prioritize the value of what you leave behind, your principles, your influence, your contributions, over how quickly people notice your progress. It's easy to get caught up in the need for immediate validation, but legacy demands patience, humility, and most importantly, consistency. Are you ready to put in the work, day after day, without needing the world to cheer you on? What you do in private matters more than what you do in public. Your character, your discipline, your ability to persevere through struggles, without broadcasting every step, that's what builds an unshakable legacy. Imagine the power of becoming a person who quietly changes lives, who impacts generations, not by flashy moments, but by steady, unwavering commitment to excellence and integrity. But building a legacy quietly isn't about isolation or secrecy. It's about intentional focus. It's about knowing that your greatest work often happens in the small moments, the everyday choices, the unseen sacrifices. These are the true building blocks of legacy. And as you commit to this path, you'll notice something remarkable. Your influence grows naturally, organically, and without forcing it. People will begin to recognize your value, not because you shouted louder, but because your work speaks loud. Now, while legacy is about impact that lasts beyond us, it can only be sustained if your foundation is strong. This brings us to something essential: the invisible foundations of discipline and consistency. How do you maintain your momentum when no one is watching? How do you protect your legacy from the storms of doubt and distraction? That's the next powerful truth we'll explore, because a legacy without a strong foundation is like a castle built on sand. Are you ready to discover the strength that lies in silent, unwavering discipline? Have you ever stopped to think about what holds everything together beneath the surface? When you look at a towering skyscraper, you see the glass, the steel, the shining exterior. But what truly supports it, the foundation, it's invisible to most, hidden deep underground, yet without it the whole structure would collapse. Your life, your growth, your greatness, it all depends on invisible foundations, built by quiet discipline. Quiet discipline is not flashy. It's not about grand gestures or loud declarations. It's about showing up every single day, doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching. It's the small choices: waking up early, practicing your craft, saying no to distractions, that build the foundation for lasting success. Why do so many people fail to reach their potential? Because they underestimate the power of these unseen habits. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. Without it, dreams remain just that, dream. But when you commit to quiet discipline, you lay bricks in the wall of your success, one consistent action at a time. It's in the daily grind, the repetitive work, the focus on improvement that greatness is born. Are you willing to do the work others avoid? Are you ready to build your foundation so strong, nothing can shake it? This kind of discipline requires more than motivation. It demands commitment. Motivation fades, emotions fluctuate, but discipline endures. It's the difference between starting something and finishing. And imagine how different your life would look if you made discipline your closest ally. What could you achieve if you practiced discipline in your thoughts, your habits, your decisions? The power of quiet discipline is that it works behind the scenes. No applause, no recognition, just steady, unstoppable progress. And here's something powerful: quiet discipline builds character. It teaches patience, resilience, and focus. It molds you into someone who can withstand pressure, who doesn't crumble when faced with challenges. This kind of greatness is not born out of luck or talent alone, but from the persistent effort to do what's right, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient. But discipline alone isn't enough. You need to channel it with purpose. Without vision, discipline can become rigid and mechanical. That's why aligning your discipline with your purpose is essential. When your actions are connected to a clear purpose, your discipline becomes meaningful. It fuels your passion and drives your growth. This is how invisible foundations turn into visible success. Yet building your foundation is just part of the journey. There's a deeper layer, one that involves mastering your persistence and cultivating silent momentum. Because no matter how strong your foundation is, without momentum, your progress can stall. So how do you keep moving forward when the road gets tough? That's the next secret we'll uncover. Are you ready to harness the unstoppable force of silent momentum? Have you ever noticed how the loudest voices in the room don't always carry the most power? Sometimes the greatest strength is found in stillness. In a world that pushes us to rush, to perform, to constantly prove ourselves, stillness feels like a rebellion. Yet it's in stillness that true growth happens. It's in the quiet moments, away from distractions and noise, that you build resilience, clarity, and deep inner strength. Stillness is not about being passive or stagnant. It's an active choice to pause, to reflect, to focus your energy inward. When you learn to embrace stillness, you create space for your mind to align with your purpose. You become aware of what truly matters and what doesn't. And in this calm, centered place, growth happens naturally, steadily, and powerfully. Are you rushing through life without pausing to grow? What would happen if you embraced the strength found in stillness? The world often measures success by activity: how busy you are, how loud you are, how many things you check off your list. But busyness can be a mask for chaos, distraction, and even failure. Stillness allows you to break free from this cycle. It teaches you to be patient, to listen to your inner voice, and to act with intention. The strongest leaders, the most successful people, know when to move and when to pause. They understand that sometimes stepping back is the key to moving forward. When you grow in stillness, you build emotional intelligence, mental clarity, and spiritual strength. You learn to control your reactions instead of being controlled by them. You begin to see obstacles not as threats, but as opportunities to sharpen your skills and deepen your resolve. This kind of growth doesn't require the world's attention, but when it finally manifests, it's undeniable. The strength you build quietly becomes visible in your actions, your decisions, and your influence. But stillness isn't always easy. In fact, it can be uncomfortable. We live in a culture of distraction where silence feels empty and waiting feels wasted. Yet those who master the art of stillness realize that this discomfort is part of the process. It's the pressure that shapes diamonds, the silence before the storm. Are you willing to embrace the discomfort of stillness, knowing it will lead to unmatched strength? Stillness prepares you for the next stage of growth, silent persistence. Because it's not enough to be still, you must also keep moving forward with steady determination. Growth requires balance, knowing when to pause and when to push. And that balance leads to momentum, the unstoppable force that propels you beyond challenges and setbacks. So how do you develop this silent persistence, this quiet momentum that keeps you advancing no matter what? That's what we'll explore next. Are you ready to discover the power of moving forward in silence? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve extraordinary results while barely making a sound? The truth is, success isn't always loud or flashy. Often it's the result of unseen efforts, those countless hours of preparation, sacrifice, and dedication that happen when no one is watching. This quiet path to success is where the real work gets done, and where true greatness is born. The world wants instant results, instant recognition, instant gratification, but success that comes too quickly often disappears just as fast. The people who truly excel know the value of working hard behind the scenes. They understand that progress isn't always visible. Sometimes it looks like slow, steady movement, like water wearing down stone, almost invisible, but unstoppable. Are you willing to commit to the unseen efforts that lead to unmatched results? Unseen effort means discipline in your habits, persistence in your goals, and patience with the process. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's pushing through when your energy is low. It's saying no to distractions and yes to focus. This kind of effort doesn't seek applause or attention. Instead, it's driven by a deep sense of purpose and a clear vision of where you want to go. When your efforts are unseen, your motivation must come from within. Who are you becoming when no one is watching? Success built on unseen efforts is solid and lasting because it's earned. It's not borrowed from luck, connections, or shortcuts. It's crafted through sweat, sacrifice, and silent commitment. This path shapes character, builds resilience, and sharpens skills in ways that public recognition never can. And when the moment arrives to step into the spotlight, the results speak louder than words ever could. But here's a powerful truth. Unseen efforts can feel lonely. It's easy to get discouraged when your progress isn't immediately visible, when no one applauds your grind. This is where mindset becomes your greatest ally. You must believe in your process, trust your timing, and keep your eyes on your vision, even when the world seems silent. Are you prepared to stay committed to your journey, even in solitude? The quiet path to success is a journey of faith in yourself. It requires resilience, humility, and unwavering focus. And when you combine these unseen efforts with the strength of silent momentum, the unstoppable force we spoke of earlier, you create a powerful formula for achievement that no obstacle can stop. But success is not just about effort. It's also about how you protect what you build, how you guard your peace, your vision, and your foundation from the distractions and noise of the world. This brings us to the final key that will unlock your full potential, building yourself when nobody's watching. Because the greatest victories are won in silence. Are you ready to discover the ultimate secret of quiet greatness?
Have you ever realized that the greatest power doesn't come from what you show the world, but what you cultivate within yourself? True power is born in silence, in the quiet moments where you wrestle with your doubts, sharpen your skills, and build your character. It's a force that doesn't demand attention or approval, but quietly shapes the course of your life with unstoppable momentum. Power from within is not about dominance or control over others. It's about mastery over yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your choices. When you develop this inner power, you stop being a victim of circumstances
and become the author of your own story. Imagine how different your life would look if every decision you made was guided by this calm, steady strength rather than by fear or impulsiveness. Are you ready to cultivate this kind of power from within? This power grows in silence because it requires reflection, patience, and deliberate effort. It's in those quiet hours when you're working on your craft, learning from mistakes, and strengthening your mindset. The world may not see it, but your inner transformation is happening. And that transformation is what prepares you for challenges, for leadership, and for success that lasts. It's the power to stay grounded when everything around you is chaotic. The cultivation of inner power also means taking responsibility for your life. It means no longer blaming circumstances, other people, or luck for where you are. Instead, you accept that the power to change, to grow, to overcome lies within you. This shift in perspective is liberating. It turns you into a force of nature, unstoppable and unshakable. But how do you nurture this power? Through discipline, through focus, and through silence. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness or emptiness, but silence is a breeding ground for strength. In silence, your mind clears, your vision sharpens, and your purpose becomes undeniable. You learn to listen to your intuition and trust the process, even when the results aren't immediate. This inner power gives you confidence that doesn't need to be proven. It simply is. Are you willing to embrace silence as the source of your strength? As you cultivate power from within, you'll notice your ability to influence others grows naturally, not because you push, but because your quiet strength draws people toward you. This kind of power creates leaders, innovators, and visionaries who change the world without shouting for attention. But remember, cultivating inner power is only the beginning. The next step is learning how to maintain this strength consistently through every challenge and every season. Because power that fades with pressure isn't real power. Real power endures. And that's where the art of quiet persistence comes in. The next secret we'll explore. Are you ready to discover how to keep your inner power alive, no matter what? Have you ever asked yourself what keeps a person going when the whole world is telling them to stop? What fuels the relentless spirit that pushes beyond failure, beyond doubts, beyond exhaustion? The answer is quiet persistence. The steady, unwavering commitment to keep moving forward, even when no one else believes in you or notices your effort. Quiet persistence isn't about grand gestures or dramatic comeback. It's about showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the obstacles in your path. It's about trusting the process and believing in the unseen progress that's happening beneath the surface. Imagine the power you would wield if you refuse to quit, no matter how difficult the journey gets. Are you ready to become that kind of unstoppable force? Persistence in silence is often misunderstood. People expect success to be loud and visible, to announce itself with fireworks and applause. But the truth is, most success stories are written in quiet moments of resilience. When you choose to take one more step, when you decide to try again after failure, when you resist the urge to give up, that's where character is forged, where champions are made. What makes quiet persistence so powerful is that it doesn't depend on motivation, which fades, or external validation, which can be unreliable. It's anchored in discipline, vision, and an unshakable belief in your purpose. When you develop quiet persistence, you build momentum that carries you forward, even when the road is long and the challenges seem insurmountable. But how do you cultivate this persistence? It starts with setting clear goals that connect deeply with your values and dreams. When your why is strong enough, you'll find the strength to persevere through any trial. Then you break your goals into manageable steps, celebrating progress without needing instant perfection. And most importantly, you commit to consistency. Because persistence isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. Quiet persistence also teaches patience. It reminds you that growth takes time and that lasting change doesn't happen overnight. This patience allows you to weather setbacks and failures without losing heart. Instead of seeing obstacles as reasons to quit, you begin to see them as opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. But persistence alone isn't enough. You must also guard your mind and spirit against doubts, negativity, and distractions that threaten to derail your progress. That means surrounding yourself with influences that encourage your growth and developing mental toughness to stay focused on your path. As you embrace quiet persistence, you'll notice something remarkable. Your resilience becomes contagious. Your steady commitment inspires others, even if you never say a word. And this silent force moves mountains, breaks barriers, and shapes destiny. However, persistence is only part of the equation. To truly build yourself quietly and powerfully, you must also learn the art of strategic patience, knowing when to act and when to wait, because timing is everything in the journey of success. Are you ready to uncover the secret of mastering timing, the final key to your quiet transformation? Have you ever felt like you were ready to move forward, only to find yourself waiting, stuck in a moment that tests your patience? That's because timing is a crucial element of success, one that many overlook. The art of strategic patience is about understanding when to act and when to wait. It's about mastering the moment so your efforts hit at the right time with maximum impact. Are you prepared to learn how to turn waiting into one of your greatest strengths? Strategic patience is not passive. It's an active, intentional practice that requires awareness, discipline, and wisdom. It means resisting the urge to rush, to force progress, or to seek quick fixes. Instead, it demands that you observe, prepare, and position yourself carefully. When you master this art, you transform waiting from wasted time into powerful preparation. Can you imagine the difference it would make to your journey if you saw every pause as an opportunity rather than a setback? One of the keys to strategic patience is learning to trust the process. Success rarely comes overnight, and timing often depends on factors beyond your control. But while you wait, you're not idle, you're growing, refining, and getting ready for your breakthrough. This mindset shifts your focus from impatience and frustration to purpose and preparation. How much more effective would you be if you embraced waiting as a necessary season in your growth? Timing also requires discernment, knowing when the environment, the circumstances, and your own readiness align perfectly. Acting too soon can lead to wasted effort, burnout, or failure. Acting too late might mean missed opportunity, but acting at the right time creates momentum that propels you forward with force. This balance is what separates those who succeed from those who struggle. Do you have the patience and clarity to wait for your moment? Strategic patience isn't just about external timing, it's also about internal readiness, developing your skills, mindset, and character so that when the opportunity arrives, you're fully prepared to seize it. The quiet work you do while waiting, learning, growing, building habits, sets the stage for your success. What hidden strength could you be developing right now, in this very moment of waiting? Remember, impatience often leads to mistakes, frustration, and unnecessary struggle. But patience, when paired with strategy, turns waiting into power. It's the calm before the storm, the silent gathering of strength before the breakthrough. As you practice strategic patience, you learn to appreciate the journey, knowing that every season has its purpose and every delay has its lesson. The art of strategic patience prepares you for the ultimate secret of quiet growth, the ability to build yourself when nobody is watching. Because true transformation happens not in the spotlight, but in the silence of consistent, intentional effort. Are you ready to discover how to build yourself quietly in ways that will shape your destiny forever? Have you ever wondered why the most powerful transformations happen far from the spotlight? Why the greatest achievements are often born in silence, without fanfare or applause? The ultimate secret to building yourself quietly lies in what you do when nobody is watching. This is where your true character is forged, your vision is refined, and your legacy begins. Building yourself in secret means committing to growth without seeking immediate recognition. It means doing the hard work, embracing discipline, and pushing forward even when the world seems indifferent. Imagine the strength it takes to keep showing up for yourself day after day when no one else is applauding your efforts. Are you ready to embrace this quiet power that shapes champions? This secret requires a mindset shift. The temptation to seek external validation is strong. We want to be seen, to be praised, to feel important. But when your foundation depends on the approval of others, it becomes fragile. True greatness stands firm because it is built on self-motivation and unwavering commitment to your vision. When no one is watching, do you continue to work hard? Do you stay true to your goals? This is where the battle for greatness is won or lost. Building quietly also means protecting your progress from distractions and negativity. The world will often try to pull you off course through criticism, doubt, or comparison. But when you build yourself in silence, you develop resilience to these external pressures. Your focus sharpens, your confidence deepens, and your purpose becomes crystal clear. How much further could you go if you stopped worrying about what others think and started investing in your own growth? The beauty of building yourself quietly is that the results eventually become undeniable. Your skills improve, your mindset strengthens, and your opportunities multiply, all while others are still trying to catch up. This quiet growth leads to lasting success because it's authentic, grounded, and sustainable. Are you prepared to let your actions, not your words, prove your greatness? Remember, the journey to quiet greatness is not glamorous. It requires patience, persistence, and humility. But the rewards, freedom, fulfillment, and legacy are beyond what noise and applause can offer. So today, I challenge you to commit to your growth, even when no one is watching. Build yourself quietly, build yourself consistently, and watch how your life transforms. Your greatest work, your deepest growth, your most profound success, they begin in silence. Will you embrace the quiet and become the person you were meant to be? The choice is yours.